The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe. This is the United Podcast Network.
Welcome to the Quirky Dog Podcast, inspired by some of the quirkiest dogs you can ever imagine and the owners who love them. This podcast is brought to you by the quirky couple themselves, Scott and Jess Williams. Their aim is to educate and entertain. Here's Scott and Jess.
Welcome, guys, and happy Wednesday. It is our 50th episode. Can you even believe it?
I can't believe it.
It's so exciting. So if anyone is really into the Quirky Dog, you may be thinking, how did they have their year anniversary? And this is just their 50th episode. Well, we had COVID. So we were podcasting from home, and that only went on Facebook and YouTube. It didn't do any Apple Podcasts or anything else. And then we did an early kind of pilot episode, and we didn't go weekly yet. So this is officially our 50th episode, and we are happy to have you with us.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm glad to be here.
You're lucky you've been allowed to come for the 50th episode. So today we are launching apparel. We're super excited about that. I have the purple V-neck, the women's V-neck. Scott's wearing the blue T-shirt, and then we're going to change it during the commercial, and we're going to have another set of apparel
She's got a bikini, Quirky Dog bikini we're going to put on.
Rock and roll it. Okay, we got to do the Quirky Tip of the Day. What's the Quirky Tip of the Day? Oh, we got dueling pigs. I'm so excited to match the pigs to the shirts. The Quirky Tip is to click on the link that is going to be in this bio. We have a Quirky Dog podcast/support page that we started, and Ben is actually going to put the apparel link into the comments now, our producer, if you want to check that out earlier. And
Are we going to have the Quirky Dog cigars in there also? Or?
Don't tell them about those secrets yet. And we have the apparel that launched on Instagram too. So the apparel thing is super exciting. We're excited to share it with you guys, and it is only available until Halloween. So if you want shirts, buy them now. It'll be all pre-order, and then starting November 1st, they'll print everything, and you should get everything to you by like middle of November, maybe November 10th, even if you're lucky.
Sounds good.
We're excited.
Yeah, one thing that you guys didn't know, you're probably not aware of, I've been sending subtle physical cues during these episodes to the public, trying to get people to understand that I've been held here against my will
for 50 entire episodes now.
Blink twice if you need help.
I've been doing the listeners can't see it, but I'm doing the. I'm brainwashed into actually starting to enjoy the podcast.
Now that he has a cigar, he's happier. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna do 50th episode. So we're thinking, what can we do that's 50? So we're gonna do the 50 states and how popular dog ownership is in each of the 50 states. So we did want to do like the best dog-friendly states, but that got all into no-kill shelters, and they had a bunch of different metrics to make that happen, and I didn't feel right about it. So we're just gonna do popularity by state, and we're gonna go low to high. What state likes dogs the most? What state doesn't want to have dogs around at all?
This is for companion animals as opposed to barbecue.
Yes.
Okay.
This is only in the United States of America. So the state that has the least amount of dogs, surprisingly, percentage-wise for dog ownership.
Would you care to take a guess, Ben? Least friendly dog state in the country.
Rhode Island.
Oh, that was close, but no, it actually came in as New Hampshire.
Surprisingly, Rhode Island has the most dogs per capita out of any state in the country.
Rhode Island has the
dogs.
Yeah, but they're strays.
5 dogs to every one person.
They have the most everything per capita. No, the lowest percentage for dog ownership in the entire country happens to be New Hampshire, right when we're podcasting from. Who would ever think it?
I wouldn't have thought that at all. No, because, it is rural, but it's not like Montana or Wyoming or something like that,
I know, but they have the least. The second lowest was Connecticut, close to Rhode Island. And then the third lowest, that was Ben's, was Rhode Island. So New England is not big into dogs in a lot of the different parts. Maine ranks a little bit higher, luckily.
Well, it could be that we are into dogs, but we actually take care of dogs. So we don't have a lot of excess dogs just running around.
I will say the southern states did start to rank a little higher in percentages.
Yeah, when you go to 100 dogs per farm, it starts to add up pretty quick.
Not everybody has that. So this chart was from 2020, but it didn't include Alaska and Hawaii, which I thought was a little bit strange. So it only had the 48. So I did a little bit of my own research. And the next lowest percentage would be Alaska, and that comes in at number 4. But surprisingly, I also researched the most popular dog breed in Alaska, since we didn't have a real hardcore number. And it was
sled dog.
The Labrador. Can you believe it?
No, I
Just
never
like
thought that.
the rest of the country.
They don't
I
pull
know.
sleds.
Well, but that's what people like to own. Not everybody in Alaska has dogs just to pull sleds. Some people just have companion
they have
dogs.
the Iditarod. Each guy has like 15, 20 dogs. There's no labs out there.
One makes more sense to me. So this is the fifth state that likes dogs the least, and that is New York. And that would make sense. A lot of people have apartments, a lot of big congestion there. You're not going to have a lot of dogs.
Well, New York City is a small part of New York State.
That's true, but you have a large population of people in a small little radius there, and not everybody wants to have just an indoor dog that never goes outside to pee, and not everybody wants to deal with a dog in the apartment.
Well, having never lived in New York City, I can't really tell you, but I do see a lot of dog walkers there, and they got a ton of dogs.
Yeah, well, according to this, they are the fifth lowest. Now, this one was interesting to me because Colorado is a very dog-friendly state, but after New York, Colorado had the next lowest number of dogs per each individual, which I just find interesting. The percentage of people that own dogs in these states is just varies place to place.
Maybe we should find out the percentage of actual people in the state and relation to other states
We'll
too.
have Scott run those scientific metrics for you next week, and we'll do a statistician episode. Okay, so after Colorado, we have Vermont, and then after Vermont, Massachusetts and New Jersey. So really, New England, almost all of New England falls into that first section there. We have New Jersey, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Mass.
The frugal nature of the New Englander.
Oh, it could.
Because they
don't want to spend the extra money on
You
dogs.
don't want to be spending money on food for an animal that's not producing anything. There's no eggs, there's not much going on there. It's like the horse. I tell you, the hay burner.
That is true.
All you're doing
I want
is
a
feeding
horse.
the thing.
I want a horse, so we're not going to be that anti-horse. Okay, so we're going to keep going through the list of states as we go, but we just want to talk about some different ways that you guys can support us with our podcast and everything else moving forward. We're 50 episodes in. We're committed, but we drive here. We have to pay to be here. It's not free to podcast.
We are now accepting canned goods. What else? How else can they support us?
Really, Scott's cigar habit. What is that, a $30 cigar?
No, it's not at all. I get a discount on them, and they're very reasonable.
Okay.
For the quality,
All right.
they're a steal.
So you're going to click the link in the description, and that's going to be a long-term running URL, even past the apparel campaign. But jump on the apparel campaign, because we're excited. We only have 10 days, and we want everyone wearing Quirky Dog shirts. And on the back, it has the hashtag, the Quirky Dog Podcast. So every
Antifa
shirt
on the back,
Stop it.
Quirky Dog on the front.
Now we're not even going to be able to post this because of your nonsense. So the link is going to give you a Patreon link, and that is something that we just started. There's going to be 3 different levels for Patreon, and I'll explain a little bit more of that after the break. It has all of our courses in there that we're offering online. You can actually click each course individually. Right now, I only have C-Spot Sniff, my tricks course, and How to Calm Your Canine, which is our anxiety course, but you can click each of those links and check out the courses and see what's there. There's a place where you can leave a review on Apple Podcasts. You can click and it'll redirect you to that. And there's also a place at the bottom where you can just give us your email and join the email list. But we have a bunch of things that we're trying to do to spice things up and everything else, and the least of which is the Quirky Dog Podcast Instagram. So I am the only person that follows it right now. It just came out this week, but follow the Quirky Dog Podcast Instagram, and I'm going to use that kind of as like an episode catalog more so. Like we're still going to post the pig pic and the pre-show pic on canine healing, but it'll just be a way to like explain what each episode was about and have a way to redirect back. So follow that, and then when you get your apparel and everything else, we're going to just use the Quirky Dog Podcast hashtag everywhere. We're going to make it go crazy.
If you enjoy the podcast, please show your support. We're not going to be backing off on this. We're going to start doing 2 to 3 a week.
We're full steam ahead.
We're going to be living in the car right outside the studio.
All right, we got to get back to our list before break. Okay, so after New Jersey, the next state was Maryland, South Dakota, and Illinois. I thought that was interesting. There's a lot of people in Illinois, a lot of farms in Illinois. I'm from Illinois. We're moving along quick. What are we going to have 50 of?
What are you going to tell me about Illinois? What are we going to talk about with Illinois?
I just thought that maybe they'd be higher on the list with owning dogs. I'm from there. I'd like them to have more dogs.
I thought you were going to mention the lilac princess.
We can't mention that every episode. What's interesting, though, is California and Illinois fall right next to each other. Isn't that cute?
California and Illinois.
Yeah, because you were living there and I was living in Illinois. Okay, so Idaho is next on the list, Wisconsin, and then Minnesota. So to give you guys a little bit of an idea, in Minnesota specifically, so you know where we're at, because I didn't want to just make this a full-on numbers thing, 35.5% of Minnesotans, and I know that to be the correct term because I have friends in Minnesota, 35.5% of Minnesotans own dogs. So that's what we're looking at percentage-wise right now, and I'll give you the highest percentage and the lowest percentage at the end so you can kind of see where things fall in between.
Well, now they've defunded animal control. So it's
They're defunding a lot of different places. A lot of things are going on in our world right now. Also, speaking of the Quirky Dog Podcast hashtag, since I brought that up for Instagram, you are going to revive the TikTok account just for the once a week TikTok.
okay, listen up for this sound. That's my
He's
head
banging
hitting.
his head against the wall. But
No, I've been off social media for several months now, and it's been really pleasant. Really enjoyed
We
it.
put TikTok
I sit outside, have a cigar with my dog.
Oh, my God.
The sun is out. It's just a nice,
I'm not pushing
nice
him back to
experience.
social media. He's not. It's the TikTok is on the iPad, and once a week we're going to have a TikTok redirecting to that episode.
Admittedly, I have a little bit of a personality thing with addictions and whatnot. And it starts with TikTok. Next thing you know, I'm on Pornhub. I don't know how the hell I transition.
Well, you do see a lot of TikTok on Live Leak, and I brought this. brought this as your
Oh,
friend.
yeah.
No.
So I don't know if any of you guys saw that guy, Dogface,
No?
drinking his
Ocean Spray.
ocean spray on the skateboard, singing
The Fleetwood Mac.
Mac.
Scott is obsessed with
If you haven't seen it,
Oh,
well,
my God.
the whole
He's seen-
world is.
He's seen every variation. Your daughter didn't even know, and she's going to be 21 in November. She'd never
See,
heard
I'm
of it.
not even on social media.
Yeah,
This is what I'm
he's
getting.
just getting it through Live Leak. So we're reviving that, but the Quirky Dog Podcast hashtag will be involved with TikTok too, just to build
I'm
a
going to
little
get in
more
touch
awareness.
with Dogface, see if he wants to do a podcast with us. He's got about 100 million followers at this point.
That guy. He's so funny. He's been doing TikTok year after year after year, and he's been pushing. Well, it hasn't been around that long, but for a long time. And he did this random one where he's on a skateboard with the ocean spray, and it went viral. Ocean spray gave him a truck.
Wasn't that random? The guy is pretty talented. He's a good dancer and he's funny. So I think he had about 200,000 followers before that thing hit.
Yeah.
So he's been, he did his first one and got a lot of followers. So his kids were telling him to keep doing it.
And
then all of a
ocean
sudden, boom.
spray sales have gone through the roof. I
Yeah.
bought one this week too. So we got to wait until this is finished.
The cool thing was the original members of Fleetwood Mac actually opened up TikTok accounts so that they could make a video to comment to his video. That's how, because, that Fleetwood Mac song got more downloads last week than it had since it's first came out.
The power of TikTok. Trump didn't shut it down, and it's still rocking and rolling.
That's
and
why
that's
why he has his Twitter account too.
We do have the Quirky Dog TikTok page, but it's been a little bit vacant. But Scott's really good at making those, way better than me. Okay, we are going to break really quick. We have to do a quick costume change, which is going to be speedy, and then we're going to get through our list and give you guys some other tips as we head into episode 51 and beyond.
What makes Kuranda beds chew-proof? Only Kuranda beds have a patented design which secures the fabric inside the frame, making it totally inaccessible to jaws and paws. Your dog can't chew the fabric because we've hidden the edges inside the rails. Dogs love Kuranda beds. See why? Kuranda beds come in a variety of custom sizes. You can even add a fleece pad on top for extra coziness. And these beds can be used both indoors and outdoors. But best of all, our beds are easy to clean. Just wipe them off or hose them down. Visit dogbed.us/thequirkydog for more details.
All right, we are back, and we're changed. We did pretty good. Oh, you got your hood on. He loves playing the thug wearing the hoodie. He's
Well, it's
really
a hoodie.
into that. I know. So we got the hoodie for any gender, whatever you'd like. And then the wide neck is made for women, but
How many genders are there these days?
don't get started. It's a whole nother podcast. But the wide neck is specific just for women. And just so you guys know, all these colors that we have going, we're not pulling that
Kind
down.
of sexy coming off the shoulder like
Just
that.
all the colors that we have, you don't have a lot of color varieties. So what you see is what you get, but you can pick your sizes, and all of that is listed. And then again, we still have our hashtags on everything. The Quirky Dog Podcast, the Quirky Dog Podcast. And next week, we're going to be matching, wearing our green t-shirts. So you guys won't want to miss that. It's all very exciting times here. at
Yeah,
Quirky Dog.
we've already had orders coming in from Italy, Thailand.
Speaking of that, I do want to say that actually. So if you're in the U.S., you get free shipping, and it's not a big deal. There are some pretty committed Canadian followers that listen to us, and if any of you guys do want shirts, message me individually, and I can deal with that order and shipping it to you guys, because I'm pretty used to shipping to Canada through all my years of dogging. Okay,
Good.
we're moving on.
Yeah.
So Minnesota was the
Please.
last state we mentioned. Now we're going to Virginia. And I would have thought Virginia would have ranked a little bit higher as far as their percentage, but Virginia is like lower tier. Maine is after Virginia, surprisingly.
Where are we at on this list?
Oh, for the love, honey. Wyoming, Utah, Iowa, and then there's Georgia, Nevada, Oregon. So, I mean, really, there's no rhyme or reason outside of New England not liking dogs, in my opinion. What were you going to say?
I think New Englanders love dogs. And when they get a dog, they commit to it, and they keep it for 15, 17 years.
They just don't get that
They don't
many.
just start rotating through dogs. Like, I don't like the color of this one. Pop it out.
That's true. All right. So this is a small list, which is why I'm trying to transcribe some of these for Scott. The ones that I transcribed for him, I already read through. Coming in after Oregon is Ohio, Louisiana, Pennsylvania, New Mexico, Florida, North Carolina, Michigan, Delaware, Washington, Arizona, and Kansas.
Where's the top 10?
We're getting to the top 10.
That's what I want to hear, the top 10.
50 states.
People like a top 10 list.
50th episode. We got to get 50. We talked about what we could do with 50 for the entire week. And we're like, dog names, commands. 50 is too many things. So this is the last time there'll be a big list.
We should have had 50
But we have
Cent.
50 states. You can call 50 Cent. 50 Cent for the 50th, the next 50th that we hit. Okay, I want to get back to Patreon real quick, too, because we taled about this. So we have three different levels.
How does that Patreon work?
I know. You shouldn't explain this part, probably. So we have 3 different levels. So $3, $5, and $10. So it's a monthly commitment, and if you sign up now, your first withdrawal will be November 1st. It comes out the 1st of every month. There's no long-term commitment. You can cancel at any time. And different tiers give you different incentives. So your first tier, you're going to get a story and a solution. So a dog training story and a solution. And I'm even going to squeeze one in October for those of you who sign up before November 1st, and you'll get one, no matter what tier you're at, you'll get a story. So it'll be a personal thing that we've gone through, a problem that we've seen with a client or ourselves, how we overcame it, what happened, what the solution was. The $5 tier gives you that first incentive, and also will give you half-price online consults. So anyone who is at that $5 tier, we do online consults right now for $99. That'll be cut in half if you are at the $5 tier. And then the $10 tier, you get the story and the solution, the question and answer that's added on. You get free question and answer for the entire time you're there. You have a different platform, and then you also get those half-price consults.
And you can also text Jess 24 hours a day, any question, anytime.
Only Scott gets that privilege.
Maybe I'll send photos.
You're going to reply with photos of me. But the Patreon thing is really nice. And more importantly, over the holiday near Christmas, we're going to do like an Oprah's 10 favorite things thing. So anyone who has signed up for Patreon on any level through the end of December is going to be able to get different prizes. And starting early November, I'm going to show you different prizes we give. And it doesn't matter what level you're at. You can get a $3 donation, and you may get a $25 prize. Doesn't matter. But we're going to have different incentives to give, because I like giving around the holidays. It's my favorite thing to do.
Well, I'm coming into the last third of this Atabay.
Oh my gosh, we got to move it along for Scott.
That creamy almond is starting to wane.
Scott's going to be a guest on the Cigar Authority in December, actually, December 12th. He's scheduled to be there, so you'll want to tune in on Saturday morning. He's really moving up in the ranks of his cigar.
Homeless to cigar smoker. The journey.
He didn't start homeless in this category. Okay, so you want me to get moving and finish it, so we're going to finish this up. Okay, so Hawaii was pretty high on the list. I was surprised. Texas has a lot of dogs. North Dakota, Minnesota. Then there's we want to do top 10. He's all excited about his top 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. South Carolina was the last one mentioned. Number 10 with the highest percentage of dogs is Kentucky. And this is where we get into what we were talking about with larger.
Love the state of Kentucky.
Space, everything else. The next one is going to be Alabama. That is going to be number 9.
Haven't spent much time in Alabama.
8, well, a lot of dogs there when you go to check it out. You've spent some time in Tennessee. That's number 8.
Oh, yeah. That's not Alabama.
I know. Why? Tell them why you're in Tennessee.
I was in the military down there.
That's true.
In the Marine Corps.
That's true.
Getting in all kinds of trouble.
He gets in trouble wherever he goes.
All kinds of trouble down there.
After Tennessee, we have Nebraska, which makes sense. It's pretty spread out. Not a lot of people. Most people there might own dogs. Coming in next is Oklahoma, and then Indiana and West Virginia. And you're going to do the top 3, because I finally wrote them down and didn't go through them. So number 3, most highest percentage of owning dogs. What's the third highest state?
Mississippi.
Good job. And what does that spell? That is true.
Mississippi.
That's very good. And then what do you have after that?
Arkansas.
Okay.
Where we get.
Ooh, wow. We got it. We're really going. Look at him go.
I can't tell you how many dogs we've trained from Arkansas in Massachusetts. I mean, they have so many dogs in Arkansas, they're able to send them all over the country.
We're having such a high percentage. We wish they'd stay. All right, and last but not least, what's the number one state?
This is one of my favorite states.
We got the drums going, so let's move it along.
Montana.
Good job.
Yeah, baby.
That's right. So Montana
Had a lot of good times out there in Bozeman.
has the highest...
And Kalispell.
Yes, it has the highest percentage of dog ownership, and it came in at 51.9%. So half the people that live in Montana have a dog. Maybe we should move to Montana.
I was in Yellowstone, too. Had some good times out there.
Oh.
Part Montana, part Wyoming.
Part wildlife.
Yeah, great part of the country. Really
Part
is.
wildlife.
I wouldn't mind moving out there.
Okay, well, we can discuss
Definitely
it
need a
after
wood
this
stove.
episode.
Definitely need a wood stove in Montana.
Things are moving pretty quickly. Once I let you start reading them off, things are moving quickly. So Montana came in at 51.9, and I got to tell you guys what the lowest one was.
What is that
told
percentage?
you.
That's of households that have a dog?
Yes, dog ownership.
Wow, 1 in 2.
I know.
You can't make a living as a dog trainer in Montana. You get a problem.
And if you can't, you should contact
Of course,
Scott.
you got to go from house to house on horseback out
So
there.
New Hampshire was the lowest percentage, and their percentage was 23.7. So, there's no better odds than 50% as far as dog ownership goes, which I suppose makes sense. But if you are living in a state and you feel like you're underrepresented in your dog ownership, there's other states you can move to feel more.
Kind of a testament to my dog training business. Here I am in a very
Oh my God, always.
dog scarce environment. And just making it happen month after month.
Everything in our life is a testament to your dog training expertise. Everything. Or his cooking expertise.
I had no idea. See, I just see dogs all the time.
Or his growing expertise. I know, you didn't know.
Like if you buy a new Tesla, all you see is Teslas out on the street.
You didn't know that you were fighting upstream to try to come and do that.
I was born fighting upstream.
That's true. You have had a hard go there. Well, we've done 50. You feel like it's been pretty smooth?
The 50th episode?
Well, just 50 episodes altogether.
Well, like I said, I've been trying to subtly signal to the audience that I've been held here against my will.
Yeah, you said that already. Very funny the first time, and even funnier the second time.
I'm starting to loosen up. I think in the beginning I cared a little too much.
Yeah.
And now I don't care at all.
That's how you excel at everything. Oh, we didn't do the quirky question of the day. Okay.
What is the question of the day?
This was in relation to our episode. So we're going to close with the quirky question of the day for our 50th episode.
I'm all ears.
I got all excited about all these things going on. I have to recap, though, before we get to the quirky question. So the Quirky Dog Instagram, the Quirky Dog Podcast, that's at the Quirky Dog Podcast. Find us there. Patreon is new. Our courses have been up, but now there's an easier way to do it. TikTok, you can check us out there. We're going to reintroduce ourselves. Maybe you
got some Fleetwood Mac over there you can kick on for me?
No, we'll put on the Quirky Dog TikTok this week. Okay. You and the skateboard and the ocean spray. Don't spray on the microphone.
And the crutches and the cast.
all the things all at once. So lots of fun things, question? But most importantly, if you want apparel, order it by the 31st, because after the 31st, it's not going to be available. And we're just hoping everyone everywhere wears Quirky Dog clothing, and the Quirky Dog Podcast hashtag just goes viral. If not, by the end of 2020, sooner.
We'll be opening a new podcast, the Quirky Dog, or the Quirky Sheep Herder.
The Quirky Cigar is coming up.
The Quirky Montana dog owner.
The quirky question of the day, you can squeak the pig for the inaugural pig squeak. The quirky question of the day was a nice one, I thought, and tied in nicely. What has your favorite episode been so far? So do you want me to answer first, or do you want to answer?
Feel ladies before gentlemen. You go right ahead,
thank you
young
so
lady.
Much. So I think that my favorite episode out of all 50 was probably our Christmas episode when you were Santa and I was Mrs. Claus and Vital was here. And probably mostly it's because Little Bup was here.
That was a memorable.
But you were funny that day, and we had the little things to eat. I like to have snacks, and we have the podcast and all that. That's my favorite. What was your favorite?
I have to say, without question, the most memorable for me and my favorite episode was the New Year's Eve episode.
Oh, yeah?
Where we had, as a guest, David Garofalo.
Oh,
of
from the Cigar Authority.
I said 2 dogs.
2 guys.
2 Guys Smoke Shop introduced me to my first cigar.
That's right.
On the air, and has created, again, this addiction for me.
Yeah.
That is
another one.
The 3 friends I had are gone, and now it's just me and Jess.
No, we like, the cigar smell doesn't bother us, and the dogs like it. And that is his honest answer, because I actually kind of said, hey, this is the question. I figured Scott may not run through a catalog of episodes in his head. And he did have that answer even before he was asked on the Cigar Authority.
Yeah,
so
the
it's
catalog
a
of episodes is just this one. There's nothing else.
I was very worried that I'd say, honey, this is what someone said. What's your favorite one? And he'd be like, I can't remember any. This one's the best so far. That's pretty typical Scott. All right, guys, we'll see you next week. We have a special guest. If you need us, studio@thequirkydog.com. And I think that's about it. Go order your damn shirts. Quicker.
Hang in there, guys, and thanks for your support. Thanks for listening. Look forward to seeing you next week and hearing you.
Rather than later. Take care.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.